This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Hey, first of all, thanks to everybody who came out to see Brittany Page and I in North Carolina this weekend. It was a great time. I met a lot of great people. Afterward, we went out to a restaurant and had some drinks and some snacks and talked, and it was great. So if you were there, I appreciate you very much. And if it ever comes that we're in your area by happenstance to speak or whatever, I hope you come out. Listen, today is a eclipse that is taking place. In fact, it's taking place here in DC. I'm not traveling to totality. It begins at 2:04. I have the times written down here. And it will hit peak partial eclipse here in Washington, D.C. at 3:20 p.m. Maybe right when you're watching this. And the eclipse will end at 4:32 p.m. And the reason I know this is because these things are trackable, predictable. We understand the movement of celestial objects as not superstition or sign from God of impending doom or judgment of whatever. It's science. When an earthquake happens, we understand precisely what took place. It is the shifting of plates and the relieving of pressure that causes the earth to shake and rattle. We know that it's not a sign from the Almighty to repent of our evil ways. And there are still people in 2024 who aren't bat phone to Jesus types, people who are sitting United States Congress people, who are now warning their constituency and America, and by extension the world, to turn away from your evil ways because God will rain down judgment via earthquake and eclipse. Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, did this. Over the weekend, on the 5th, she texted or tweeted, and then just today, or yesterday, at 9 in the morning, she doubled down on it after a community notes correction. So I'm going to read these tweets. We'll talk about it a little bit, and then I'm going to play a video from her boyfriend, Brian Glenn, the goof on Right Side Broadcasting Network, who also is warning everybody this might be our last weekend. First, she tweeted this: God is sending America strong signals for us to repent, or to tell us to repent. Earthquakes and eclipses and many more things to come. I pray. Oh, I'm such a pious Christian woman. I pray that our country listens with the praying hands emoji. You know you're serious when you use the praying hands emoji, right? Well, this was met with a community post or a community correction. Community note, it's called. Monday's eclipse was predicted hundreds of years ago. It will not have been caused by contemporary actions. Earthquakes occur naturally and happen on average more than 30 times a day across the world, although many are too subtle to feel. Then she doubled down, retweeted her stupid tweet with a quote, and said, many have mocked and scoffed at this post and even put community notes. Jesus talked about that in Luke 12:54 through 56. She's a scholar of the Bible. Yes, eclipses are predictable and earthquakes happen, and we know when comets are passing by. However, God created all these things, and uses them to be signs for those who believe. So Marjorie Taylor Greene would have you believe that 13.7 billion years ago, when our universe was created, when it formed, that God knew what would be taking place in America. He planned for people advocating for policies and equality in America. And he put things into motion such that this eclipse would happen at this moment to give everybody a warning. It probably happened more than 13.7 billion years ago because, God is forever. God is infinite. So it was probably 500 billion years ago when God was planning the formation of our universe. 13.7 billion years. It's a long time in the making. We shouldn't laugh at Marjorie Taylor Greene. for this opinion or her stupidity or her abject dumb f***ery. Nah, we shouldn't do that. We should be kind and decent to her. Maybe we can lead her out of her idiot ways. You can. I'm not going to do that. So anyway, her boyfriend, Brian Glenn, he posted this little video. I don't know where it originated, but I found it on Twitter. I think the Midas Touch guys posted this. Thanks for your work. There's a lot of stuff I wouldn't see without those guys. And it just doubles down on this nonsense. And I tell you what, here it is. We'll talk about it. Watch this.
I want you guys to have a fantastic weekend, and here's why. This might be the last normal weekend that we have for quite some time. I mean, we've got this solar eclipse on Monday, this very rare solar eclipse. Who knows what the fallout from that will be? Plus, that will be combined with several earthquakes. We've already seen a few already. And why not sprinkle in this infestation of locusts that have been dormant for years and all of a sudden will attack mankind? So why not? Then throw in Joe Biden trying to get into a war with Iran for whatever reason he wants to do that. So on that note, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, or maybe not.
Maybe not. God, if only I could guarantee myself that I wouldn't see you next week, dipshit. First of all, solar eclipse, predictable, tracked, know exactly what time's going to happen, 3:20 p.m. here in D.C. Secondly, earthquakes have happened. There's really no way to predict those with any accuracy yet. Not yet. Science isn't there yet. And then locusts are going to attack mankind. He's talking about cicadas. And the reason we know they haven't yet arrived, the reason we know that they're going to arrive, not to attack mankind, but to breed, is because they show up every 13 years or 28 years or whatever the timeline is. And scientists have predicted, they've told us, hey, this summer's the summer. This is when it's happening in like Ohio or in the Midwest somewhere. They know because of science. Their predictive ability is because of tracking and understanding the rhythms and the cycles of this particular locust that will kill mankind. They don't kill anybody. They come out and cling to trees and then do their deal to make more cicadas that will then go underground and return back, a decade later. Here's why these people do this, though, if you're wondering. I'm like, well, what the hell are they doing? Is it just entertainment value for these morons? It's to gin up fear. It's because they know their audience, they know their followers are gullible rubes, by and large, and they want to stoke fear. If they can garner even a few votes of people who are afraid because of eclipses and earthquakes and will vote for Donald Trump because of it, they're going to do that. There is no efficacy to it whatsoever because it is even the ding-dongs on Twitter are attaching community notes to Marjorie Taylor Greene's posts, fact-checking her nonsense. These are stupid people. Brian Glenn doesn't hold public office. He certainly holds sway with the public with his right side broadcasting network. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is an elected official. Stop electing stupid people to high office. Georgia, please, for the love of all that is holy, for the love of all that creates these eclipses to scare you, stop it. She's an impeachment manager. She sits on the Oversight Committee. She sits on the Homeland Security Committee, Marjorie Taylor Greene does, while tweeting about earthquakes being signs from God like she's Jerry Falwell, that 9/11 was an inside job, but because of God, to warn us that gays are evil. This is the Republican Party. You don't see this nonsense from Democrats. This is a Republican problem. And by virtue of that, it's an American problem. Enjoy the eclipse, everybody. What do you think? I'd love to know. 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you appreciate my work, my voice, my tone, my message, I would appreciate it if you consider supporting this work. For $2 a month, you can help me make these videos. Click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. Patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast is another way. That is not just for the podcast. $2 a month there also goes to support and make these videos. I appreciate it. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore everywhere. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Tomorrow, when we're not destroyed, when an earthquake doesn't kill us all because the gays are ruining everything. Idiots. Be genuine. Take care of one another.